as Ash Blewett will start from pole alongside Ryan Yardley. Australian 86-point leader Will Brown starting inside row 2. Jack Milligan was on the front row earlier today. We're missing a few cars, including Jacob Smith and Thomas Stokes, so you'll see a few vacant grid spots out there. Greg Murphy, their last chance, and the racing's been great so far.
Yeah, they put on a show this morning, didn't they? It was great. We commented on the battle that was being had. It was Mr. Blewett going with Reid Harker. Around the outside, Blewett tried to take that little 86 around turn 1 side by side. I reckon he probably thought he had it. But Reid Harker stuck in there, the young guy from Albany, as they hit the green and they're away. And guess who got the jump?
Yeah, Ash Blewett with a cracking start to the final race before we get into the supercars today. Up and running. Mike Scott confident on the outside of Will Brown, gets up on the curb, has to get out of it. Brown slots into third.
Ooh, wide.
Running in deep down there at turn 4. Snappy change of direction on these Michelin slicks. Wow, Milligan going searching for the grip and very nearly making contact. I think that was with Mike Scott up ahead. This is the fight for second. Yardley pouring the pressure on. Oh, sorry, first, I should say.
Yeah, it is. He is pouring the pressure on, and Blewett did decide to cover. And side by side, that's Milligan in the 17. In his first season, a rookie in the TR86.
Will Brown spent all of race 1 looking at the tiger print ahead of him on the Corvette.
And he's doing it again. That was a great battle. Those guys just so close, so close, so close. Now, we want to see this continue on, don't we, Chad? We want to see Yardley put the pressure on, Brown put the pressure on. Blewett definitely the experienced one here, who's had a bit of a jump on the field, the reigning champ.
I thought Blewett would get away from them early here. And they've definitely gone with him. Will Brown from Toowoomba made the trip over here for the weekend, umming and ahhing about doing the entire summer over here. Just loves the 86. Don't blame him, he's very fast in them as well.
It'd be great to see him doing this championship. They stream down the back straight, line astern. Reid Harker in 4th place. He'll be wanting to get onto the tail of this group and get amongst it. Blewett, the back of the car, just moving around. Brown with the best line through that complex, 5 and 6. He gets a good run. He's on the gas early. Blewett ran it in very deep. There's the two Celica lookalikes. They are fantastic.
Try and get out there in an old GD4 Celica and see if anyone notices. It'll be the wolf in sheep's clothing out there. So they slide their way out. That was John Penny letting the back end wiggle under the Michelins. Here we go. Across the top once more. No change in the front 3. Ash Blewett looking good here this weekend. Oh, that was a moment.
It was Harker. Just running slightly wide. Yardley throws it out wide for 1. Gets it back online. Blewett, though, he's not cracking at the moment. Again, it's about the run. Who is on the throttle? Full throttle in that little 4-cylinder boxer engine, screaming. 4th gear, about to hit 5th. You can see it on the Motic dash.
Book your pets into Corvettes for a tune-up.
Yeah.
It's good.
Hey, pets need tune-ups too. Will Brown, I reckon, must have missed a gear there. Yeah. Because there's a sizable gap. And when he came out onto the back straight, he was right on the back of Yardley. So a bit of an error there, I would say. The 23, McConkey, and the 14 of Ridge streaming through. Yardley is looking good, isn't he?
Well, this gives Yardley a chance to focus on what's ahead of him. It's the 2 teammates in the Castrol colours. Castrol signing on recently is the official oil partner of this series, and that's Drew Ridge from the central coast of Australia, getting around the outside of his teammate McConkey there. Just returned from Hockenheim, where he raced in the Audi TT Cup, Drew Ridge.
Sounds like a bit of fun.
Only finished high school this week, had his last exam, which was physics on Tuesday, and then in a race car for Friday. Not a bad week.
Wow.
Yeah. Lanky 17-year-old. Needs to get his lap towards the top 5 here, where the action is at right now.
Blewett just setting the fastest lap of the race, but as you can see, it hasn't been enough to pull much of a gap on Ryan Yardley. They were less than a tenth apart in last lap times. So Brown doing his best to catch back up again. Really hard to do at the pace that's being set at the front. There was 7/10 of a second difference on that last lap after that mistake, Chad. So category where you have to be on the limit every single second and not make one mistake, because when everyone's got the same horsepower, everyone's got the same chassis, the same damping, the same tyres, everything, you cannot afford one little tiny error.
You miss a gear, you lose all that momentum. Remember, this is only a little four-cylinder engine. You don't have all that power to just drive out of a mistake.
But look at the recovery straight away. Brown sets the fastest lap of the race, albeit it's only a tenth faster than Blewett, and you can't see a tenth of a second out there at the moment. Harker continuing to impress after that race win this morning. He held on. I don't know how he did it, but Blewett threw every single thing he had in the book at him, and he managed to keep the champ at bay.
Second year in the care vet seat for Yardley. It's a scholarship program for young up-and-coming stars. 2 drives available in the 86s. He's got 1 for the second year, and Jack Milligan getting the nod for the second seat. Impressing at Hampton Downs. A series of judges. Brown driving hard. He's overdriving, trying to catch the leaders.
Yeah, he is. He is just showing a few little chinks there. He'll be kicking himself after missing that gear, which has put him in this position. And now Harker getting the toe, runs it nice and wide, uses every bit of road. Defensive straight away for Brown. Now we saw in the last race, or the first race this morning, we saw Blewett take advantage, run down the outside of Harker through the corner we're looking at now. There was an amazing exchange.
Harker choosing not to try that option out that time, backing out of it down there. Mike Scott catching the lot of them in that Northlands Toyota entry.
Now Yardley, he brings the marker down as far as the fastest lap goes, down to 15.7, but just in the last few hundred metres, our leader, Ash Blewett, has managed to get a bit of a lead.
I thought Harker had the inside then, but wow, Brown was very late on the brakes. That was the Ricardo move on Vettel. You think I'm going one side, then surprise switch to the other.
Yeah, it didn't end quite as smoky as that one did.
And again, he tries it. This time,
he's down there this time.
This time.
He's going to use him.
Good move.
That's a great move, and Brown. That was just a good exchange. Brown chose to go defensive, and it's been costly for him. He's having a bit of a struggle at the moment.
They're all picking on him.
Michael Scott, he's taken advantage of this. Great racing. And right behind is the rookie Milligan, the scholarship winner for Care Vets. He's going, let me in on the action there, boys. Look how close Yardley is.
Oh, the leader's going at it. If he cut his losses, he could have only just lost the one spot. He wanted to argue the point and loses 2.
Yeah, I don't think Harker at all moved him too wide. He didn't take all the road away from him too aggressively. It was just a good, clean, and very definitive shot down at the hairpin that paid off.
He's back defensive again with Jack Milligan in his mirrors. Has a little peek. Former kart champion who won the Australian Formula 4 Championship this year, looking to double up in the 86s, and Milligan's going to go around the top. Good stuff.
Wow. Good on you, Jack. Getting stuck in there.
Well, he did enough to impress the judges, one of which was Greg Murphy, recently at Hampton Downs, to get the nod for that seat, Jack Milligan.
Yeah.
That's with skills like that.
Oh, I just cannot get used to Will Brown's hands on that steering wheel. It's driving me mad. He's been doing it all weekend. He moves his hands around the steering wheel, which, as far as I'm concerned, 101 race car driver, you keep your hands at that sort of quarter to
10 to 2?
Yeah, 10 to 2 or whatever it is, you know, in the positions where they are at the moment. But he gets down to the corner and shuffles his hands around the wheel. I can't get used to seeing that.
So if we stay on board, you'll see exactly what Greg's talking about. Particularly turn 4, he does it. That left hand will go to the bottom of the wheel, usually about now.
There we go. He shuffled there and he moves his other hand up the... Oh! Oh, Milligan sideways. This is going to be costly.
Gotcha.
Yep, got the overlap down. We're going to see a bit of aero shift between the two and the drag that'll be coming off the Corvette's car. Turbulent air is going to give Brown a bit of a run down the inside, like a slipstream kind of effect. And he does get it done. So Milligan will be kicking himself. Oh. Brown runs him out of road fairly. That was good. All good. And behind Lockwood, he's starting to sneak up on the back of this battle. Harker has to go defensive on Michael Scott.
Worth mentioning that Will's probably the youngest one out there in this battle at 18 years of age. Everyone else in their early 20s, albeit some very early 20s. Great fighting. Milligan, just 20 years of age from Christchurch.
And you look down further down the field, there's some impressive times being put in by some of these guys.
Yeah, Lockwood and Rich are catching these guys with all this battling going on.
Yep.
Keeping their heads down.
And we'll see if Milligan can repeat what he did before. Still looking quite racy. So we've got 2x2 battles going on throughout. Blewett and Yardley still going at it up the front there. Lowered their markers big time too as those little Michelins come up to 10 but find their right pressures. 15.5 versus a 15.4 on the last lap. So both of them just putting out very consistent fast times.
So much aggression in this field, as you'd expect from...
Here we go, Yardley just gives a little bit of a tip on the wheel, hoping to distract Blewett. It's going to take a little bit more than that.
Yardley is going with him, isn't he, in a big way. Not giving up the fight, not letting him get away.
It's great to see.
Last year's Rookie of the Year in this class.
They don't even lift. It's just flat. Help fifth gear and then just up on the throttle to the boards. 6 gear, little 6-speed gearbox.
Flat out, they turn their best laps of the race that time by.
And then through turn 1 in 6th gear. And then it's all about chopping down through the gearbox. Supercars go through there in 5th. The guys change down one cog before they get into 1. Is that Scott?
Oh, yep, Scott wide.
Very wide.
Yep.
And it's been cost.
Oh, that's big. Hard into the fence on the last corner. This will bring a safety car out. It's the 11. Cockram in the fence in a big way.
Oh, wow. That is going to slow things down dramatically.
And that could just about spell the end of the action here, but it's still racing down at turn 5. Get the job done now. Lockwood up the inside. Might just pick off Scott. He does. That was a result of Scott running wide at turn 4. No safety car boards yet.
Oh, he's moved it, but geez, that's got a
lot. Oh, the lead.
Has he managed to pull it off? Ryan Yardley, they're going to go side by side. The yellow flags are going to be here, so it's a race to the line. A race to the flag. Blewett back in front. Where's the yellows?
Oh, side by side, Blewett hangs on anyway. We'll give that one back to the...
We're still green. We've still got a green. So that car's well out of the way.
There's
a yellow flag
in the
waving at the top.
there.
So Blewett was back in front.
Oh, that's one up and over. Goodness me.
Okay, well, now we're going to get a red. Is for sure. Where is that?
It's Mike Scott.
He's been in the fence. Oh, that's coming. That's in the pit lane.
He's landed on the pit entrance.
He's gone over the fence. He has gone over the fence coming around through 10.
He's got the tyre wall.
My goodness.
He's got the tyre wall and catapulted over it. Or maybe it's gone in earlier in the sand and then started rolling over.
Yeah.
Whoa-wee. Well,
now,
red flag flying here.
That reminds me a few years ago of our good friend Brad Jones ending up in a very similar position then. So yesterday we saw Jason Bright end up on the wall after having a bit of a rub with Chris Pither approaching through that section.
Highly talented open wheel driver Mike Scott on his roof in the pit entrance.
That car has done the high jump.
Brought the red flag out. Recently just returned from USF 2000 as well, Murph, raining over there in Laguna Seca. He returns to the USA in December. Got a couple seasons of TRS, the Toyota Racing Series, under his belt. And for the second time this weekend, we have a red flag with the pit entrance blocked. You never see it once in a weekend, let alone twice.
We're only a couple of laps away from the end, so that'll be the end of race 3 here for TR86. But not the way you want to have a race finish. They're still trying to get actually Cockram's car, which is badly damaged. They've actually managed to get that through the gate there and out of the way as well. But
not the way we wanted to end the weekend.
no, they got through race 2 nice and clean. The TR86 boys.
Huge crowd here at Pukekohe Park this weekend for the I-Team Auckland Super Sprint. And it's a fast part of the racetrack to let go.
I think our camera's going to pull back here in a second, and we're going to see.
Oh
my goodness!
Oh, that was upside down very early, and then it's barrel rolled up. Oh, I can barely believe my eyes.
Luckily, and we have got some word from our officials to say that he's okay.
Wow. So he rode up on Matt Lockwood's wheel, and unbelievable for an open wheel driver. You'd think having doors around you, you'd get away with something like that. He's had an open wheel crash and essentially a sedan.
I did not expect to see that car upside down on the track and then get over the fence.
We have had initial word through that there are no major injuries for the young man. And this is what happened earlier in the race, by the way. Almost forgot this had even happened. The 11.
Well, it's minor in comparison, isn't it?
And
but there is the overcorrection that happens with the little short wheelbase of the TR86.
Big hit.
And that is a sizable hit, absolutely square on.
That's just such a fast part of the racetrack.
Yeah.
Nearly had it, and they just
and
go off.
the front wheels grip. As soon as the front wheels get grip, the car just follows the direction that they're pointing. And that's part of the fact that it creates so much grip with the slick tyre with these cars. So a dramatic finish to the third race here at Pukekohe, the ITM Auckland Super Sprint. Ash Blewett, he takes out another race win. Ryan Yardley put the pressure on, though, all the way through, Chad. That was a brilliant drive by both of those guys.
Oh, that's great.
There he is.
Wow, what a great image that'll be. And everyone here at Pukekohe giving him a round of applause.
Applauding that one. If there was a scorecard for performance there, he's going to score very high from our judges. No question about that.
He's got a master's degree in mechanical engineering as well. Drove for the Carevets team recently. Finished fourth in the championship last year. He's pretty rattled, but
so
he's
glad
okay.
to see Michael okay. It is.
He's at the back of Will Brown's car. You can just see the initial contact 2 cars back that causes it.
Just run up over the side. Ran up over. That's incredible.
They made contact exactly where Pither and Bright made contact yesterday, but just had a completely different set of circumstances afterwards. Wow.
It's hard to describe.
It's just shocking when you see a car clear a catch fence.
Isn't it speed? This is in real time. Our cameraman has done incredibly well here to pick this up. Not that that's going to be any consolation for Michael.
Thankfully, we can say that he's okay, and that's the sort of thing that you very rarely see, cars getting over these fences. And he's look how much blood has rushed to the head by just sitting upside down in a car.
So he's given the crowd the thumbs up. Look at that. He will wonder what happened, but awesome to see him walking away.
Wow, what was that about, he says. Gets into the medical car. The crowd give him another round of applause. I can't believe that image alone. Remarkable crash. And that goes once again to prove the safety of the little Toyota 86. They have had everything thrown at them here this weekend. A couple of big crashes, and once again the driver bounces